Why did you choose to come here for 1 year?
It didn't start out as 1 year.
Yeah.
Oh, I messed up. Can I?
It's fine. Start again.
I did not initially choose to come to 7 Muay Thai for 1 year. I came for 1 week because I was looking for a nice Muay Thai gym by the beach in a less crowded area. I was really tired of the pollution and chaos in Bangkok. I had just moved here for a new job. I came to 7 Muay Thai and I was really quite stunned by the level of training and instruction and care that I came to see. I came again for 1 more week and then I was like, okay, I think if in my life I'm ever going to fight, it will be through this gym. And so that's when I decided, okay, sign me up for a year, and the rest is history.
Yeah, it's a decision that, as I said to him, as we say in Italy, it takes balls, because okay, you come for 1 week before, you come twice for 1 week, but still, you're a beginner. You were like a complete beginner. Like, let's say you knew a little bit, but you were still considered a beginner when you came, and you never fought, obviously, and you're not exactly the athlete, So
Of course.
to say, okay, I go and put myself into hard training and a hard lifestyle for 1 year, like, what was the thought behind that? Like, elaborate a little bit more on that. Like, what was the thought? What were the doubts, and how did you finally make the decision?
Yeah, you make a good point about me being a beginner. I started Muay Thai in 2017 and never did more than like 5 hours a week. Now, when I came and moved to Thailand for my new job, and I came to 7 Muay Thai and I had this really good experience, I felt that a bit of a calling, a bit of like lightning striking in my mind. This gym, if I'm willing to dedicate myself, I can fight and I can do something that I thought, and especially the younger version of me, thought was never possible. So I decided to put my faith in my trainers, my coaches, my friends at 7 Muay Thai, and decided to come and stay for a year.
And so far it's been, what, halfway through the year?
Yeah,
Not yet.
roughly. So I started in July, August, and we are now in end of February.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, about halfway, a little more than halfway, something like that.
If you rethink the decision now after you did halfway, you agree with yourself 6 months ago, or you wish you made a different decision?
Looking back at the past 6 months, I am so glad I took the decision to stay at 7 Muay Thai for a year. The mental experiences and the physical experiences I've gone through, I get to keep with me for the rest of my life. No matter what happens from this point on, I get to have this experience and memory in my life. And when I'm going to be in other tough situations in my life, I get to remind myself that I went through this thing right here in Thailand at 7 Muay Thai, and I came through on the other side. And that gives me the confidence and faith that I can handle whatever comes next in my life.
And you obviously were born and grew up in cities, like big cities, like metropolis or something. And then when you moved to Thailand for your work, you lived in Bangkok. So now you're living in Rayong, which is a very, very like a rural place, like nothing to do with big cities and stuff. Like, how are you handling that?
It is very interesting to live in a rural area for the first time in your life if you've grown up in big cities up until then. It's a bit confusing almost because you're so not used to the peace, the lack of people, maybe sometimes different ideas or values. I think, again, having friends at the gym has been really helpful, and friends who can speak English with me that, hey, because I know language is kind of an issue sometimes in Thailand, having people who can relate to me in the language I feel comfortable in is really helpful and makes me feel more grounded. Beyond that, I don't know how I'm handling it. Some days I kind of wonder, oh, I haven't gone to a party in a while. I haven't, seen more than 10 people in a while, and I don't really have a response for you. It's a bit weird, it's strange, and we have the pandemic and so many other things going on that
made a lot of a difference too.
Yes, it's just strange, but I think I really enjoy this experience, and gosh, the peace of living in this place and not hearing crazy things at night, and the whole world kind of sleeping at the same time. Very, very peaceful and really different from anything I'm used to. Yeah.
And you came here with the goal to debut, to make your first fight, so your first appearance on the ring. So since you've been here with that goal, I think you've been pushed a bit harder than you were. You were pushed hard before, but this time you've been pushed really to, like, you've been picked up and thrown over your limit, you know what I mean? Like forced to pass your line, your limit. Tell us more about that. Like, how has the training changed, and you know, how are you reacting to it?
It is very interesting to see how I have changed from the beginning when I was not completely pushed past my limits to now where really every day we are trying to push limits. My coach, Roberto, definitely and always tells me it is mental, and I'm really trying to take that to heart. Every day I'm trying to remind myself I'm an overthinker and I make all these decisions for myself, but when I'm training, when I'm in the ring, trust my coach and listen, try my best to listen to everything he has to say. Following that one advice has really helped me push myself over the limit where I'm really trusting someone else completely who isn't my mom or dad. And that requires a lot of trust. So surpassing my limit has also been an exercise in trusting someone else, trusting their opinion, values and experiences, and showing up every day, trying to do your best even on the days that you don't feel like showing up.
Okay, so we saw you when you came the first time, we're seeing you now, and I guess we'll see you after your fight.
That sounds quite amazing. I know you're looking forward to seeing me in the locker room after the fight and see how I react. I'm looking forward to that too. I've imagined that scene once or twice so far.
Okay, thank you. Adhikar.
Come on, grab. Thanks.